This is an April update on my 112-gallon average reef. The tank is looking quite a bit different, and it's not for the better, but that's okay. I did a major teardown. This entire section of the reef was basically taken apart. There were two reasons for that. One, the overgrowth that I speak of every single month. But more urgently, I had a pair of Bangui Cardinals that, despite being little captive bred guys, were already breeding, so I wanted to catch them. I got the male and even the babies without too much issue, but the female took 3 days, and taking out all this rock, and the giant Simularia coral was collapsing under its weight, so I figured now's the time to clean things up. I did have a little bit of coral loss. Part of the problem was there was just so much detritus under all this rock. And then, of course, there's nowhere to place all the corals, so a few things did get stinging damage as well. But for the most part, everything is okay, and it's still going to be a while till everything recovers. Especially the toadstools are pretty unhappy. This guy, he's just shedding, so he's fine. This one is open like normal. The little Japanese one is closed, but sometimes it does that. And it's probably going to be a couple of months before everything really recovers. But given this is the last day of the month, I wanted to shoot a quick video on the tank since I do one every single month. The one unrelated loss I had, which is a pretty big heartbreaker, is my Canthophilia. This happened before the tank teardown. Basically, it just stopped puffing up, and then it started having tissue loss. And then the tangs started picking at it, the yellow and the yellow Scopas. So I don't really know what was wrong with it. I did try to dip it, but it just faded away. That is pretty unfortunate, as it was definitely the most expensive coral in here. But generally, I'm more happy with the reef as a whole versus one collector's piece. You will see that there is, of course, a big Bangui Cardinal in here now. After catching the pair, this is my retired breeding female. She's a wild one, and she actually killed her mate, which is not too uncommon. So she's going to live out her days in here. Fortunately, I did get several dozen babies from them, so I have a bunch that will hopefully become F1 breeders in the future. And this side of the tank is still looking quite nice. I did scrape off most of the Leptocyrus here, so the front is a little bit less obscured. And I have moved a few corals, so hopefully once things settle down, it will look a little bit nicer. I did finally put this two-tone goniopora, which I've had since last year in my frag tank. Actually, when I first got it, I was a little bit disappointed. It was just a teeny tiny speck. It was, advertised as this really nice coral that was a little expensive, but now that it's grown a bit, it actually does look pretty nice, and there's a bit of yellow in it in my wider spectrum lighting. I also moved my Bernard pora up here, and after it bleached out a while ago, it's made a full recovery. So while the tank is a mess, I fully expect it to bounce back soon. I kind of was just putting this off indefinitely, but having to catch the fish finally got me to do this. Also, I would have expected to be further along in my moving process by now, but given the way the housing market is, I don't think I'll be moving in the near future. Hopefully not too long, but I'm not about to list my house or anything yet, so I'm going to stick it out with this tank for a little bit longer. Hopefully next month, a video that will have the tank looking a little bit nicer, but overall, given all it's been through this month, I think things are still pretty good. If you have any constructive criticism, feel free to leave a comment. Thanks for watching, and happy reefing.